ahead and begin when we're ready.
We can go ahead.
Thank you.
Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwarah, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So we will learn something about Upanishads. I think it is better let me briefly summarize everything in 5 to 10 minutes. And then we will go deeper. The knowledge of the reality is the main theme, main goal of the Upanishads. What is that knowledge of reality? It is our true nature. What is our true nature? It is absolute existence, consciousness, bliss. So that real self is of the nature of permanent peace, happiness, love, truth, wisdom. Every meditation, in any meditation or mindfulness practice, the knowledge of that real self dawns, awakens. In today's session, I just said that, you know, what is your house number? 532. But I mistaken, by mistake, I take it as 550. So I say your house number is 550, you say now 532. What practice I need to do it? Nothing. So it is the knowledge of the reality. That is the entire theme of Upanishads. Second part, it has to be studied under a teacher, in a master and a disciple tradition. I will answer all those questions. I just want to summarize in the beginning. Most of these Upanishad is a group of text. We have more than 365 Upanishads. Some people say out of 365 Upanishads, 108 are important or means main Upanishads. And out of 108, other masters say even if you study only 10 principal books of Upanishads, you have studied everything. So most of these Upanishads are a dialogue between the master and the seeker. Who is the seeker? We will understand that. We have been doing in detail on Mondays and Thursdays and Saturdays also. So now the Upanishads begins with a query from a seeker to the master. Who is a seeker? Now, only one difference I'll give you, then I'll go detail into what it means by a seeker. So if you are a seeker and you are going to a master and you say, I have a lot of anxiety, can you manage it? That is not being a seeker. You ask big questions. What is that reality that is present in me? How should I reach to the state of dispassion so that I can touch that reality? You see, there is a big difference between Eastern psychology and the Western psychology. The Eastern psychology, when you are already calm and relaxed, then only you can find the reality. That is the subject matter of Upanishads. Clear? Now, the first group of the text is known as Upanishad. Now, the second famous text is known as Brahma Sutra. Brahma Sutra. Why I am mentioning this Brahma Sutra? The Upanishads gives you the cream, the very fundamental principles, and because it is a dialogue between the master and the seeker, so are you at that level of a seeker who is asking the same question as the master is asking? Then only you can really understand what the Upanishads teaches. That is why I'm mentioning the second group of the text is known as Brahma Sutra. So, what the Brahma Sutra text does? Sutra, like Patanjali Yoga Sutra, we have many sutras. It is not only Yoga Sutra. We have Sankhya Sutra, we have Brahma Sutra, Yoga Sutra, Narad Bhakti Sutra. So, this sutra presents all these principles sorry, in a systematic and organized manner, in a logical sequence. So it means when we study Upanishad, we should also have some reflection, some study of the Brahma Sutra that gives you a sequential, organized, systematic manner of these principles as taught in the Upanishads. Now there is a third text. So, but not all the Upanishads gives you the practices that you should be doing. So all these practices comes under the third most famous book, Bhagavad Gita, that explains hundreds of practices in 18 chapters. So what is the difference between the three texts? First, Upanishad group of the text, they give you the finest of the teaching in a very logical fashion, but they are scattered based on the question of the seeker. Now, all those principles are organized, it becomes the Brahma Sutra. Principles are the same. Clear? Third point, the Gita. Gita gives you, oh, this is the way you should be practicing. This is what the practice is. Did you understand this principle? Now the practice comes. You got it? First part, Upanishads, Brahma Sutra, and Gita. They are known as Prasthanatrayi, means three authoritative sources of knowledge of Eastern wisdom. What is Eastern wisdom then? Eastern wisdom is all yoga, tantra, kundalini, mindfulness, meditation, asana, pranayama. Eastern wisdom includes all these practices and philosophy. Now see that Eastern wisdom aims at subjective reality and the science aims at objective reality. What is the meaning of that? Eastern wisdom, goal of Eastern wisdom to find who am I, what is my true nature, what is the world, and how to live and work 24/7 in that state of real self. It is subjective reality. Are you getting it? There is a subjective reality, there is an objective reality. To give you an example, I know you, so you become an object for me, and I am subject. Subjective. Understand little or more clearly. There are only two things in the world, what I am and what I am not. Are you your house? No. So that is objective reality. Are you Kate? No. Are you Lara? No. Yeah, if the Brandy asks, am I Lara? No. So subjective reality. Clear? I'm summarizing in the beginning. Now tell me, you have a manual of iPhone. Can that manual of iPhone work for Android phone? It will not work. Similarly, the manuals and the principles of the science cannot work to find the subjective reality. Principles of both are same, different, right? Are you clear? You have to find, if I have to practice meditation, I have to follow the principles of Eastern wisdom, not the principles of science. Are you getting it? So the manuals of both science and Eastern wisdom are different, even though their main goal of both the science and Eastern wisdom to find the truth. So science finds the truth in the material world, where I'm not, and Eastern wisdom finds the truth of who am I? Can you tell me any branch of science that tells you, let us discover who am I? They will tell you where is the moon and the Mars, what is atom. You see that? Huh? Are you understanding? So we have to be very clear. Sometime the scientist asks you that can you prove? That is objective reality. In objective reality, you have to know lot of instruments, experimental protocol outside, and you find the result. But in Eastern wisdom, it is the body, the mind, intellect, and the ego is a laboratory where we have to do the research. It's a journey inside. Science is a journey outside. Clear? So science can complement Eastern wisdom, but science cannot enter into the Eastern wisdom. Summarizing the introduction to the Upanishads. Now, did you understand the first text is Upanishad? The highest text can be written. It tells you everything, the essence of yoga. It is even higher than the Yoga Sutra. All these Upanishads. Second group of texts, organized manner, logical fashion, is known as Brahma Sutra. And the third is the Gita. All the three together in our tradition is known as Prasthanatrayi, means threefold movement in the life of a seeker aims at self-realization and awakening. Clear? I'm not moving faster. So now, as I discussed before, the Upanishads, number of Upanishads are 365. Means every Upanishad text is a dialogue between the master and a disciple, out of which 108 texts are considered important. And out of 108 Upanishads, 10 are principal Upanishads, as recognized by great master Shankara. It does not mean other Upanishads are useless. Question is where I am standing, what level of a seeker I am. So every Upanishad is a complete text. Every Upanishad is a complete text that approaches the self-discovery differently. Their approach is different. Principles are the same. Let me again give you the same example. The principles of physics, I mean to say electronics, by which we manufacture, we create iPhone and Android phone are the same. Outer appearance is different. The iPhone manufacturer cannot say that I created iPhone out of biology or medicine. Principles are the same. So same way, the Upanishads that contains the principles are the same principles. But their approach is different in helping us to realize our true nature. Keep a smile. I'm teaching in a very simple way. It's not so serious and complex. Right? Now we have something more to the Upanishad. Basically, we have Eastern wisdom, as I always tell. It is 6,000 years old tradition. We have more than 3,000 texts. Only 3,000. And we have more than 3,000 masters. We don't know the name in the modern world. Vishwamitra, Yajnavalkya, Bharadwaja, Atreya. You see that? 3,000 masters. So the entire Eastern wisdom, all the texts can be grouped into two parts, two ways. One is known as Shruti. The word Shruti means heard. What is the meaning of heard? Simple. If you are totally absorbed into meditation, you are sitting into that meditation, you succeed in that practice of meditation, then what happens? The knowledge of the reality starts revealing into your mind. That knowledge of reality reveals in your mind as principle. Oh, this is what it is. So when those are revealed in your mind and they are written as it is, they are known as Shruti text. Did you understand that? A revelation of a knowledge. You need not to do anything. You are totally absorbed into a higher meditative state, the highest meditative state. You have reached there. So what happens? Every day you are sitting into meditation and the knowledge of the reality reveals in you. Do you know the story of Madame Curie, who discovered radium? Huh? He said that this knowledge was revealed to me. Do you know the story of Archimedes? Archimedes, who discovered the principle of specific gravity. The king in the Spain asked him, you are a scientist. Okay, find out. Here is a crown. You need not to break it. I want to know if the goldsmith has added any mixture into it. Is there any impurity into it? Do you remember? Did you study that? If you do not find the answer in a month, you will be hanged. Not in yoga, not in meditation. In meditation, you hang yourself. How? By crazy thoughts, unnecessary, unwanted thoughts, by blame, complain, and gain. Anyhow, so one day he was naked in the bathtub. The water was full in the bathtub. As he entered into the bathtub, he saw the water flowing out of the bathtub. From there, he discovered the principle of specific gravity. I'm not going into detail. Then what happened? He got the answer. He came out of the bathtub and he started running in the streets of the Spain. What he said? Eureka, Eureka. Do you know that story? Eureka, Eureka. Eureka means I have found it, I have found it. Did he work on his intellect? No. It was a revelation. The knowledge was revealed. So what we were talking, Shruti. So all these 3,000 texts are categorized into two categories. One is Shruti text. Upanishad is a Shruti text. Brahma Sutra is a Shruti text. That is why we do not change it. We cannot change it. Why? These principles are relevant even now. But I have to add one more thing that you should note down. It just came to my mind. The entire tradition of yoga, including the Eastern wisdom, does not give any importance to the time, location, and the teacher when this knowledge was revealed. Their importance is the truth. Who discovered the truth is not important. Are you learning the truth? That is most important. That is how the tradition continued even for 6,000 years. Are you understanding that point? So if some people say, I belong to that tradition, how you belong to that tradition? I have done 200 hours of yoga teachers training. I'm sharing a joke also. No, I respect, but you see that 200 hours. No, tradition means did you follow the master in a seeker tradition? There is a different way of teaching. So I'm giving you a glimpse of that. So first group of text is Shruti. They cannot be changed. Upanishads should remain as it is. Why? Why? They only speak of the truth. It cannot be changed. We have already understood the truth and the alternative truth in the last couple of years. I'm not going there. So I'm focused on I'm focused only on Eastern wisdom. Nothing against anyone, nothing in favor. I'm just explaining the clarity. So truth remains truth. That is the basic theme of the Upanishads. So whether it is written 6,000 years ago or whether it is written here, does it speak of the truth? That is known as the Shruti text. And then you have done the practice based on that Shruti text and you have experienced. So those texts are known as Smriti text. Smriti means remembered. After reaching to that state, you share your experiences. So Gita is a Smriti text. So I referred the three texts. Now I'm categorizing into two categories. Shruti text, Brahma Sutra, and Upanishads. All Upanishads are Shruti. They are revealed knowledge. You cannot change it. But we have to understand and we have to follow the Shruti text. Here, understood that. Now, in a tradition, we follow, Lara knows, Lara has attended many sessions. So we have to follow the three-step approach in studying any text of Eastern wisdom, whether it is Yoga Sutra, or whether it is Hatha Yoga Pradipika, whether it is Upanishad. These three words are known as Shravan, Manan, Nididhyasan. Now let us translate into English in a simple way. I do not know, let me know it. That is the first step. I do not know the principle of physics, so let me know it. Right? So now you go to the physics class and the teacher says action and reaction equal and opposite. I don't believe it. So that belief or don't believe doesn't come at the first step. I don't know. Let me know the principle as it is. Can I keep that principle in my mind? That is the first step. Understand? Normally what happens? In science, we say, yes, we have to follow the principle. But in yoga and Eastern wisdom, we say, we start questioning even the principle. Come on, first understand the principle as it is. I don't know, let me know it. Second principle, I do not understand. Let me understand it. So in the second stage, you ask questions. That is what the Upanishad is. Dialogue between a master and a seeker. Do you understand that? I don't know, let me know it. First step. Second step, I do not understand. Only in the second step, I ask questions related to the principle. I do not start taking a reference of quantum physics or chemistry or biology. No, I have to focus my mind on that principle to understand it with clarity and conviction. And the third, I don't experience it. Let me practice and experience. These are the three fundamental steps and approach every master of the Eastern wisdom undertakes in guiding and teaching the seekers. Clear? Huh? I'm just reminding you, Upanishads, Brahma Sutra, categorized under Shruti text, Gita, the third group of the text, comes under Smriti. All the three is known as threefold movement towards the knowledge of the reality. I compare the science with the Eastern wisdom, is also a science. Make it very clear. Eastern wisdom, that includes Yoga Sutra or any text which is an instrument of knowledge that helps us to discover the reality, means my real nature, my true nature. Right? Then we come down. Where to start? So I said, threefold process. I do not know, let me know it. A principle as it is. And second is, I do not understand. That is known as manan in Sanskrit. I do not understand it, so let me understand it. So there you have a total liberty to ask the questions pertaining to the principle. And once you have a clarity in the intellect, no, I have a clarity and conviction is there, but I don't experience. So let me practice. Are you clear? Every Upanishad follow, every text, every tradition, every master says that we have to follow this. Now question comes. Upanishads are like a text of physics that you study in masters or in PhD. Principles of yoga is there in the Upanishads, but they are the principles as if you have done your bachelor's, you have done your master's, and now you are doing your PhD, you are ready to write a dissertation. So how to do that? How to do that? So the masters, many great masters have written basic text. They are known as topical text or also known as basic text. Basics. So if we understand those basic text, we know what is discussed in the Upanishads, what is explained in the Brahma Sutra, what is explained in the Yoga Sutra, and what is explained in the Gita. Are you getting it? I'm coming to the fourth group of the text. There are almost about 100 basic texts. One of them, I have sent a link, How to Succeed in Meditation. I changed the name, but that book that I have written is based on the basic text is known as Tattva Bodha. So when you understand those basics, then you study Upanishads, it becomes easy. But I will continue with the both. Possibly in the next session, we will cover some part of the Tattva Bodha. And in the third session, we will cover, there is very small Upanishads that contains only 20 verses. That is known as Amrit Bindu Upanishad. So it will make the things very clear to you. So did you understand that? Do you remember Shruti text, Upanishad, Brahma Sutra, Smriti text, Gita? But how do you understand that? Basic text. So the basic text, like Tattva Bodha is a basic text, Panchadashi is a basic text, Atma Bodha is a basic text. There are many texts. The great masters who have understood the essence of the Upanishads, they have simplified and they have written these texts. But still there is another problem. What is real self? So some people say real self is the soul. But did you understand based on the Upanishad? No. So why you are saying it is soul? No, no, it is spirit. Which spirit? Do you see that? I'm just making you very clear. That is the way the Eastern wisdom works. So after the basic text, because we cannot understand the very essence of the principles of the Upanishads and the Brahma Sutra, great masters have written commentaries. So we have to refer commentary. We have not to use our own intellect in understanding. We have to ask questions for clarity. Are you getting it? Take an example of this watch, and I start saying that, oh, maybe this principle has been applied here to manufacture this watch. Am I right or wrong? I have to refer to the physics. Same way, many masters have written, great masters. They are authority. So they have written commentaries. These commentaries on the Upanishads and these basic fundamental texts are known as Bhasya. See the Bhasya, the first ever commentary. The second commentary is known as Vartika. So another great master read that commentary and said that, oh, this master has left these things. So he included, so that is the sub-commentary. Then the third master came and he put everything in a sequence, in a logical manner. That commentary is known as Vartika. Are you getting it? Einstein says E is equal to mc square. Do you know? Einstein theory of relativity. But if you have not studied physics and chemistry, you cannot comprehend what stands for E, what stands for M, what stands for C. Are you getting it? If you have not studied chemistry, and if I say bring a glass of H2O, now we all know what is H2O is water. You see that? For the last 6,000 years, that tradition is continuing. So Upanishads contains the cryptic messages. The Brahma Sutra contains those compressed messages. So our great masters explains each and every word. They have given a commentary. They have given a sub-commentary. They have given a critical commentary. Are you getting it? They have given a critical commentary. So now tell me, if I have to study Yoga Sutra, should I refer the science or should I refer the commentators who has commented on the Yoga Sutra? Are you getting it? It is so rich a treasure. I left my own profession of counseling and I entered into this. Once I realized, and I spent 26 years with my master. It is so rich. So did you understand that? Now, again, I'm repeating. Shruti text, Upanishad and Brahma Sutra, Smriti text, Gita. Then we have a topical and basic text that makes us understand the basic principles. But in order to understand the basic principles, I have to refer the commentators who are great masters, who have realized, who reached to the same state of awakening. So there are commentators, there are sub-commentators, then there are critical commentaries in which they have explained each and every sutra, each and every word, how to understand that text. Clear? Don't make your mind crazy. I'm making it simple. The goal of the Upanishad is self-discovery. But the Alex will say, I know myself. Why should I discover myself? Maybe Brandy, maybe Brett. I already know myself. Do you know yourself? So here is a caveat. Master says, if you know yourself, then you are 24/7 in the state of permanent peace, happiness, love, and wisdom. Are you? Brandy, are you? So it means you don't know yourself. And whatever you know is incomplete knowledge. And that incomplete knowledge is known as ignorance. So what is the goal of Upanishad? To remove the ignorance in the mind. When we remove that ignorance in the mind, we get the knowledge of the reality. That is the goal of each and every text, including Upanishads. Are you clear? So you see that? The master first sows the seed of a doubt. Do you really know yourself? Yes, I know. I'm Brania, I'm Alex, I'm Lara, I'm Kate. Okay, so you know. So master poses a question that if you know yourself, then are you living in permanent peace, happiness, love, and wisdom 24/7? No, I don't know, but I want to know. Then you are a seeker. And when you are not a seeker, then what question you pose? Oh, who lives in permanent peace and happiness? The world is full of stress. You become a philosopher. You don't go anywhere. You see the difference between being a seeker and just, let me study what contains in the Upanishad, get some information, and be happy so that I can talk. Are you getting it? You see that at every point, these great masters pose a question. You have to have a right question to enter into the understanding of the Upanishad. Let me give you another example. Why you go to a medical school? The knowledge comes from outside. It is not a knowledge about yourself. Then what happens? To have a career, to have a job, to have a wealth, any profession, any career, any job. Right? So the knowledge of the science, what it gives you? It gives you all kinds of knowledge to gain skills and expertise in a particular profession, for a career, for a job and wealth. What is the knowledge of Eastern wisdom? You can only understand the knowledge of the Eastern wisdom while studying. You study yourself. Are you getting it? Eastern wisdom, you study to study yourself. Science, you study to gain skills and expertise, to have a career, job, wealth, money, etc., etc. Long. Are you getting it? Are you studying yourself? Are you studying yourself now? There was a boatman who was sailing the boat from one bank of a river to the other, and a great philosopher, academics, intelligent people, genius people, who has a great IQ was also sitting. IQ means information gathering system. First, you gather the information and how you can multiply that information. So that philosopher asked the boatman, do you know astronomy? Boatman said, I'm a poor guy. I don't know anything about this astronomy and the stars and the moons and the Mars. So the philosopher said, 25% of your life is wasted. I'm comparing. You study Eastern wisdom to study yourself. and you study science to gain expertise. That comparison with this parable. So another mile is passed, and then the philosopher, professor asked, do you know mathematics? No, I don't know, sir. 50% of your life is wasted. I'm comparing what the Eastern wisdom gives you and what the science gives you without any criticism. Science is very important in the modern life. Don't see that. But we are talking of Eastern wisdom, what knowledge it gives you. Another mile, philosopher asked that, do you have a family? No, sir. 75% of your life is wasted. What happened the next minute? The storm came and the boat was just swinging in the water. The boatman asked the philosopher, sir, do you know swimming? I don't know swimming. 100% of your life is wasted because I know the swimming. I will cross the river by swimming. Eastern wisdom says do you know swimming? You have stress, you have anxiety, you have duality in your personal, professional, social, and marriage life. Can you say in peace and happiness? That is the message of Upanishad. Clear? So remember this story always in your life. Always in your life. I receive a lot of couples for counseling and guidance in the Eastern wisdom. And the first question I asked from the couple, that who is more intelligent out of the two? Normally the husband, husband says, I'm more intelligent. I said, then go back home. Why you are paying money? If you are more intelligent, use your intelligence to solve this problem. The journey of the Upanishads is little different. Right? Understand this. So now we should prepare our mind and the intellect to study Upanishad. What it means? Understand the basics. The intellect gives you the knowledge. Mind gives you the desire. And the body gives you the action. Simple. Think in that way. Understand in that way. Intellect, knowledge. Mind, desire. Body, action. Right? Now the intellect has given you the right knowledge. Right? Now the intellect merges directly into an action. You live in the state of peace and happiness. You need not to worry about the mind. First option. In the just a session before this session, I want the most beautiful women in my life. Even he got married twice. So you did not find the most beautiful women in the first time. Now you get married second time. Now still you are seeking. Your mind is moving outside. What is desire? What is desire? I'm explaining everything. That is how the traditional teaching works. Desire means the mind is seeking something other than me in the world for happiness. Can I repeat? Mind is seeking something other than me in the world outside, whether it is a watch or a man or a woman or a plane or a house or a mansion or a money. There is a caveat. Something other than me for happiness. So I asked him, Why you are seeking the more? So that I will be happy. So it is a desire, right? What is the reality? Upanishad says that the permanent state of happiness lies in you. You are seeking the happiness outside, in a thing, in an object. Huh? So that desire in the mind dictates the intellect. When it dictates the intellect, you have 3,000 challenges in the mind. I have studied in modern psychology 3,000 illnesses. Now they talk of anxiety, stress, even in anxiety neurosis, they have categorized them, then PTSD, and etc. etc. See the study of Eastern wisdom? We don't talk about that. We tell you the cause. Are you getting it? 3 points. Intellect gives you the right knowledge. How you get the right knowledge? Can you recall? 3-step process. I don't know, let me know it. I do not understand, let me understand it. And I don't experience it, let me practice it. So I should have a right knowledge of what? Of the knowledge of the reality, knowledge of who am I, what is the world, what is the existence, beyond cult, belief, dogma, and religion. We don't talk of religion, cult, dogma, belief. Why? Religion says, oh, do this, you will go to heaven. So heaven is in the future. It is after the death. Upanishad says you can be in heaven here and now by understanding, by doing the practice. It does not escape from the life. So the knowledge is very important. Second step, now I have a right knowledge. What is the right knowledge? For example, the happiness is always within me. Take another example. Which food gives you happiness? I always give example of pasta. For example, the pasta gives you happiness. Clear? So it gives you happiness because you like pasta, or it gives you happiness because you dislike pasta? If you dislike pasta, it will not give you happiness. So mind already has a desire to like pasta. Because you like pasta, so you eat pasta. So what the mind is searching? Happiness in eating pasta, which is outside you. Okay. Another question. That is how the Upanishad works. That is what I'm giving you. You have to work on this. Your mind should work. Now, if you say, no, I'm very happy eating pasta, so it means happiness is there in the pasta or in your mind? What do you say? If the happiness is in pasta or in your mind? It is in your mind. No, but for example, Upanishad puts the laws. Okay, I believe you that happiness is in the pasta and you get happiness by eating pasta. Then why not the entire humanity is eating pasta to seek your happiness? One question. You see, you prove it. That is the way to process the right knowledge. That is one question. So everybody eats differently because they like it. Liking causes the desire, and desire of seeking something other than me to seek your happiness that is outside, that is the desire. And the desire causes the delusion in your mind, leads to ignorance, and that ignorance causes the suffering. Take another example. Eating pasta gives you happiness or a momentary pleasure. As long as you are eating, after 10 minutes, the pleasure is gone. Am I right? Eating anything. How many times you have eaten pasta? Maybe 1,000 times. So do you have 1,000 percentage of pleasure in your mind? or it is already gone? It is already gone. So when it is gone, the mind says, let me have it again, let me repeat it again. So then what happens? That creates a craving, leads to obsession. Oh, I don't have pasta, so I'm in pain. Why? Obsession and habit. Who created this? Who is responsible, pasta or you? You see, you have to ask these questions. It's so logical. Okay, it means happiness lies within me. Are you sure? You have a clarity and conviction? Right knowledge is done. So, what is the right desire now? Let me discover that happiness within me. Mind, don't be crazy. Don't run after. Replace the pasta with your honey if you have. Happiness is not there, happiness is within you. That is 100% clear. Even if your mind is saying it is not there, we will understand. That's why we are studying Upanishad. Why we are studying Upanishad? We are studying Upanishad to study others. Wrong. To study myself. Right? See the another part. Now you have discovered the happiness. Come to the action part. You are in the state of permanent happiness. You know you are living into that. Smooth John, you can open the video, no problem. I always like to see beautiful.
This is great. Sorry, my phone is about to die, so I just switched to a different computer.
Okay. So now come to the action part. That is the ultimate goal of the Upanishads or yoga or Tantra and mantra. Now you have discovered the happiness inside, love inside, wisdom inside. You know, we talk about the Buddha, the compassion inside, then why he should live, why he should marry. You know, those question comes. So once you reach to that state of awakening and realization, your only work left is to express that happiness in thought, in speech, in action, in personal life, in professional life, in social life, anywhere, everywhere. Now you are not craving, expecting love from others. You have abundance of it. You are expressing that love, truth, wisdom in any and every relationship. What happens to the mind? Then the mind is not craving, it leaves the obsession. That is the cause of all the problems. Are you getting it? Right? Having understood that, let us come to the one main principle. All these are principles. Sense organs are instruments of knowledge to know the material world outside. Am I right? Mind coming through the eyes, knowing all of you are paying attention to me. So sense organ gives me the knowledge to continue speaking as long as you are paying attention to me. So you see that sense organs are the instruments of knowledge that gives me the knowledge of the material world, of people, of color, of form, of sound, etc., etc., etc. Clear? Second level of instrument, the mind is an instrument of knowledge that helps us to understand the principles and the natural phenomena happening in the world outside. Clear? That is the subject matter of science, physics, chemistry, medicine, astronomy, and all the science. Right? Now, Eastern wisdom is the instrument of knowledge by which we know our true nature. Finished. There are 3 instruments of knowledge.
Please unlock your device first.
Thank you, Google. Yeah. Did you understand that? Are you getting it clear? Sometimes Google also listens to noise, even if it happens in different sessions. So are you clear? Sense organs are the instruments of knowledge that gives me the knowledge of the material world, of name, form, color, sound, touch, fragrance. Clear? But it does not give me the principles. So those principles are understood by the science through the mind. That is why I said mind is an instrument of knowledge that gives us the knowledge of the world outside, except who am I? And the Eastern wisdom is an instrument of knowledge that includes Upanishad, Yoga, Tantra, Mantra, etc. Gives me the knowledge of who am I? Clear? Who am I? Another way to put it, Eastern wisdom is an instrument of knowledge that helps me to transcend the mind to know the reality. Reality? What is the real self? Who am I? What is the existence? What is the world? Now think for a while. Be very clear. Now you know that who you are, right? So when I know who am I, can I ever enter into stress? I can never enter into stress because I know who am I. So the moment the stress starts coming, I withdraw myself. Come on, Brandy, what you were nodding your head, even if I know myself, I will be in stress. How can you be in stress? No way. And now the second part, when I know the very essence and the nature of this world outside, will I ever enter into stress? And I know what is the existence, ultimate reality. Is there any reason that I should enter into stress? When I know all the 3, then what happens? I know how to live, think, and work in permanent peace, love, happiness, wisdom all the time. That is the state of awakening. That is the goal of Upanishads. Clear? Are you getting it? If you are a seeker, what question you will ask? How to know my real self? How to know the real nature of a world? What is existence? Can you be clear? If you are not a seeker, what you will say? Oh, who lives in peace in this stressful world? The world is always full of stress. I'm always running. Do you see that? Do you see? The entire right knowledge lives in the intellect that changes your nature, your attitude. Why should I run? Even after running for so many years, I did not achieve happiness. Why am I running now? You see, that is how you put the logic to understand the principles of the Eastern wisdom. Clear? Now let me pick up another part. Yeah, that would be good. Mantra. Yes, I did not say every verse in the Upanishads, in the Eastern wisdom, are known as mantra. You have heard the word mantra? Yeah? Mantra. Every line is a mantra. Mane manishyanam karanam bandha mokshayu bandhaye vishaya saktam smrati muktais nirvishayam smratam. I chanted the mantra in adoration in respect of my master, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara. Oh Guru, I have an image of my master just behind this monitor. So remembering, just being aware, respectfully, what happens? Many things happens. Only one thing, and then I'll come back to the mantra. Why there is a master and a seeker tradition? So you don't follow it. So what happens? Your intellect says, I have done it, I have achieved it. Means what? You live in that ego sense. And as long as you are in ego sense, even if you claim you have achieved it, you have not achieved it. Very subtle principles to understand. Do you see that? Now you don't rely on the knowledge of the intellect, your own intellect. You say it is the Eastern wisdom, the knowledge that I received from my master. I may be wrong in my expression, but the knowledge of that Eastern wisdom is eternal, all pervading. Many other reasons that we will take up. Mantra. So, one meaning of the mantra by which ignorance and suffering are destroyed. That is the meaning of the mantra. Mantra. Man. Man. Man, the two syllable. Man means contemplation and reflection. And the tra means destruction. You destroy the ignorance. You destroy the anxiety. You destroy the stress by the mantra. And all the Upanishads contain the mantras. Do you study Upanishads to study yourself or to study others? When you study others, including your honey, I can tell you, the mind starts blaming, complaining, reacting. So you are already living in ignorance. Mind has a desire. Come back, mantra. I'm making it more practical. I don't know what you feel about others. I'm just passing on the knowledge. That is your duty. You have to study yourself. Like Alexia nodding her head. Very good. So mantra. So one meaning of the mantra is, you destroy the ignorance. You kill the ignorance by. So mantra, every statement, every verse is a mantra in the Upanishads. Just I'm deviating a little bit. In Kundalini and in Tantra tradition, we use the three words, Tantra, Yantra, Mantra. Tantra. Tantra. So Tantra is a ritual, is a practice. Yantra is a geometrical design that represents the different aspects of my true nature. And the mantra is mystical syllable sound effected on that geometrical signs by a specific practice awakens your Kundalini. Mantra, yantra, tantra. You got it? mantra. We will be doing one practice after a break based on the mantra. So that will clear your understanding how these mantra works and what mantra conveys. So at present, in the first session, we'll cover about little mantras. Mantras are of many types. Sattvic mantra. Sattvic mantra are practiced for awakening to inner light, wisdom, love, compassion, and God realization. There is Rajasic mantra. We will understand Sattvic mantra. Sattvic means two things, knowledge and happiness. Sattvic state of the mind. Rajasic mantra, always running, passion. So Rajasic mantra, if you do the practice of Rajasic mantra, it brings the material prosperity, but it's a long and difficult path. One sometimes need to practice for 6 months. Before buying a lottery ticket, you do the practice of the mantra. So you know which mantra. There are things there. But it continues to create a struggle in your mind. You don't remain happy. That is what our master says. That we will take up. Then there is a Tamasic mantra. What is Tamasic mantra? In one word, you will understand black magic. Mantras are of various types. They are also in Upanishads. There are different Upanishads which contains that. So we can understand there are 3 types of the mantra. The Sattvic mantra helps you to discover what? Your true nature, awakening, realization. Clear? Now say, listen to me. Aim, Reem, Kleem, Vam, Ram, single syllable mantra. Soham, 2 syllable mantra. 2 syllables. Soham, Shivoham. 3 word mantra. Om Namah Shivaya. There are 3 words in it. 5 words. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So it means mantra can be a long verse. It can be a single syllable. It can be 2 syllable. It can be 2 word. It can be 3 word. And I did very long mantra of Goddess Kali for almost 7 to 8 years before I met my master. Om Namo Devyai Mahadevyai Shivayai Satatam Namo Namo Prakriti Bhadrayai Niyata Prartasmatam Rudrayai Namo Nityayai Gauryai Dhatrai Namo Namo Jyotsnai Chendurupinyai Sukhayai Satatam Namo. What I have just spoken, multiply it with 10 times. It is that long mantra. So it means one thing should be understood. Mantra does not mean only a single syllable. It may be long, it may be 2 words, it may be 2 syllables. Brandy seems to be overwhelmed. You're okay? Okay. Alex, you're okay? Kate and Lara are okay, I know that. So I don't see other people, so it's okay. So you see that now what happens? There are also mantras for meditation. They are known as meditation mantras. Some mantras are known as seed mantras. Single. So like this, I have already explained you. Now come to the Upanishad and the mantra. So mantra and the Upanishads are long. They convey the knowledge in it. The one mantra that we have been doing on Mondays and Thursdays. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu And I see a tremendous progress in that group on Mondays and Thursdays. They are getting deeper and deeper and deeper, provided you follow the teaching as it has been passed on by our great masters and you follow the tradition. Tradition simply means, can this watch be like a smartphone? No, that is a tradition. You see, simple. But we say, no, where is the science in yoga and Upanishad? Come on. You see, so mantras in Upanishads are long, full of knowledge and wisdom, and they have a power to end suffering. One, they have a power. If you understand it, if you sing it, if you listen to it with the meaning, they will make you a great seeker. So, what mantra that we are going to take, which is common, I think, in 7 or 8 Upanishads. The same common mantra is repeated on those 8 and 9 Upanishads that we are going to take up in the second session. And if you do that practice and understand the meaning, it makes you a seeker. And it is worth to not only understand that, but also practice that. Again, I'm coming back to who is eligible to practice those mantra, who is a seeker. So simple. No, I have heard you. I know you are a beard guy, old guy. That's why I'm not saying you anything. Otherwise, I don't want to understand this crazy stuff. So you are not a seeker. You can drive any car on the road or highway provided you have a driving license. What do you mean by driving license? You know the rules of the road and you have the skill set of a driving. So you have some skill sets by which you can keep your mind engaged in the mantra and you know the principles to follow the practice. That is what I mean by whenever you feel bored, tell me. I'll make it easy. So now, majority of the mantras in the Upanishads that is written in the beginning are known as Shanti mantras. Now understand that. So it means what we say asato ma satgamaya tamaso. It comes from the Upanishads. Sarvesham swastir bhakti comes from the Upanishad. Right? Did you get it? Understand one more thing. I would say majority of the Upanishads have the Shanti mantra in the very beginning of the text. Why? Principle is, majority of the text have the Shanti mantra in the beginning of a text. What are the 3 steps of learning? I don't know, let me know it. So you have understood the basics of the Upanishad means that there is always a Shanti mantra in the beginning. But I don't understand why it is. Let me understand it. Why they have kept the Shanti mantra there? Different Shanti mantras. That Shanti mantra summarizes everything that is explained in the Upanishad. If you understand that mantra, if you are the highest level of a seeker, only that mantra is enough. That is why they have put the Shanti mantra. Am sahana vavatu sahanau bhunaktu sahviryam karva vahi tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvisha vahi. The very cream, the essence, the summary the gist in that Shanti mantra is hidden, even if that Upanishad contains 500 pages. So the summary of the 500 pages is written in that Shanti mantra. And that can only happen when we have a driving license. I have to become a seeker inside. Inside. You prove yourself, your worth, that you can drive. Clear? Huh? Shanti mantra. Shanti mantra. So let us have a couple of questions if you want to know before we have a break, and we can meet after half an hour. So then we will start doing the practice. We not only we will learn, we will practice, we will understand everything. All the three practices, 3 steps together. Yeah, that will help. That will lay the basics, foundation of journey of the Upanishads. So now let me know your questions.
Hey, Girish, I have a question, please. Oh,
Please,
sorry.
Brandy.
I have to move my cat off my notes, and she's not happy about it. Okay, so the 3 things for the Upanishads is I don't know, so let me know. I don't understand, so let me understand. And then the 3rd thing, what is real self?
Let me, I don't experience, let me practice it.
Ah, okay.
If you don't practice, the knowledge will remain dry. I must experience what the Upanishad is saying, what it is teaching. But it should happen after understanding, clarity. I was giving an example in the morning session that, I just, it came to my mind. Say, for example, your house number is 550, and I say, is your house number is 532? No, it is 550. So you have to right knowledge. So right knowledge inspires your intellect to go for the practice to experience the change. 3rd step is, I don't experience. Let me practice with commitment, with sincerity. Huh?
Thank you.
Any more questions?
So, Girish, I know I've asked you this before, but I do my best, I practice, I do everything, and then I still experience stress. Now, it doesn't affect me as much, but I still get in those moments of stress. Is that just part of being human?
No.
Okay.
According to Eastern wisdom. According to science, yes. So I skipped the 4th part. I do not know, let me know it. Why I skipped it? Because that is the way the teaching has to be given. I don't know, let me know it is the 1st step. I do not understand, let me understand is the 2nd step. I don't experience, let me practice is the 3rd step. I don't change even after the practice. So let me inquire. Let me understand the problems and the problems and the cause of my ignorance in the mind because of no change. That is the 4th step. So we should inquire. Now see that I have an attitude, for example, that I have an attitude of running all the time for everything. Now I want to be in peace. How it is possible? So I have to understand it. So does it mean should I stop running? No. I should organize myself. How? Based on the right knowledge. Do you see that? So, it is Shravan, Manan, Nididhyasan, Samadhi. It is 4 steps they are known as. I'm not going to another explanation by another teacher. It says it contains 6 steps. I'm not going there. So after the 4 steps, it is broken into 6 steps. Then the things becomes more clear. Right desire. What is right desire? So now it becomes instead of 4, it becomes 5. Right action, it becomes the 6th. But these 6 steps are different. So, yeah, anything more?
Thank you.
So let us meet again after